code that requires all wires, both low and high voltage, to be clamped to the box they enter is National Electrical Code Section 300.4D. The purpose of this code requirement is to prevent the wires from being pulled out of the box, which could create a hazardous condition. To comply with this code requirement, you can use cable clamps, which are devices that are designed to hold wires securely in place. In your situation, the inspector is requiring you to install a cable clamp for the wires going into the 19-inch channel vision panel. This is because, even though the panel does not have any electricity inside, the wires still need to be secured to prevent them from being pulled out. The inspector may also be concerned about the lack of electrical connections inside the panel. While it is not required to have electrical connections inside the panel, it is good practice to do so. This will make it easier to troubleshoot any problems that may arise in the future. Install a cable clamp for the wires going into the 19-inch channel vision panel. Consider installing electrical connections inside the panel. Let's delve deeper into National Electrical Code Section 300.4D to fully understand its implications. This section focuses on the protection of conductors entering boxes, conduit bodies, or fittings. It mandates that conductors must be protected from abrasion and that a method of closing any opening through which conductors enter must be provided. This method should be arranged so as to effectively close the opening and give protection substantially equivalent to that of the box, conduit body, or fitting itself. Now let's break down the key components of this requirement. Firstly, abrasion protection is crucial. When conductors enter an enclosure, there's a risk of the insulation being damaged by sharp edges or rough surfaces. This damage can lead to short circuits, ground faults, and ultimately, electrical fires. Therefore, the code necessitates that conductors are shielded from such hazards. Secondly, the effective closing of openings is equally important. Openings in electrical boxes and enclosures must be properly sealed to prevent the entry of dust, moisture, and other foreign objects. These contaminants can compromise the integrity of the electrical connections and lead to corrosion or other forms of degradation. Thirdly, the protection provided must be equivalent to that of the enclosure itself. This means that the method used to secure the conductors must be as robust and durable as the enclosure it's attached to. This ensures that the overall system maintains its protective capabilities over time. Cable clamps are one of the most common and effective ways to comply with National Electrical Code Section 300.4D. These devices come in a variety of shapes and sizes to accommodate different types of cables and enclosures. They typically consist of a body that is secured to the enclosure and a clamping mechanism that holds the cable in place. When selecting a cable clamp, it's important to choose one that is specifically designed for the type of cable being used. For example, non-metallic sheath cable, commonly known as Romex, requires a different type of clamp than armored cable or flexible metal conduit. It's also crucial to ensure that the clamp is properly sized for the cable diameter. Using a clamp that is too small can damage the cable insulation, while using one that is too large may not provide adequate support. In addition to cable clamps, other methods of complying with National Electrical Code Section 300.4D include the use of bushings, grommets, and conduit fittings. Bushings are typically used to protect conductors from abrasion when they pass through a knockout in a metal enclosure. Grommets are similar to bushings, but they are made of rubber or plastic and are often used in non-metallic enclosures. Conduit fittings are used to connect conduit to enclosures and provide a secure and protected pathway for conductors. Now let's address the specific situation of the 19-inch channel vision panel. Even though this panel may not contain any electrical components, the low voltage wires entering the panel still fall under the purview of National Electrical Code Section 300.4D. This is because the wires are still susceptible to being pulled out or damaged, which could create a safety hazard. Therefore, the inspector is correct in requiring a cable clamp for these wires. The rationale behind this requirement is to ensure that the wires remain securely connected to the panel, even if they are subjected to mechanical stress or vibration. This is particularly important in environments where the panel may be exposed to movement or impact. Furthermore, securing the wires to the panel helps to prevent them from becoming tangled or damaged, which can improve the overall reliability of the system. While it may seem like an unnecessary precaution to clamp low voltage wires in a panel without any electrical components, it's important to remember that the National Electrical Code is designed to protect people and property from electrical hazards. By complying with National Electrical Code Section 300.4d, we can help to ensure that our electrical systems are safe and reliable. Let's explore some additional aspects related to electrical connections and best practices within structured panels, even those without active electrical component. While the National Electrical Code mandates the securing of wires entering enclosures, there are other considerations that can enhance the overall quality and maintainability of your installations. Firstly, consider the use of service loops. A service loop is an extra length of wire that is deliberately left coiled or folded within the enclosure. This allows for easier access to the wires for testing, troubleshooting, or future modifications. The service loop provides slack that can be used to pull the wire out of the enclosure without having to disconnect it from its termination point. Secondly, proper labeling is essential for organized and efficient troubleshooting. Clearly label each wire and cable with its function or destination. This can save a significant amount of time and effort when trying to identify a specific wire among a bundle of similar-looking cables. Use a permanent marker or a label maker to create durable and legible labels. Thirdly, cable management is crucial for maintaining a clean and professional-looking installation. Use cable ties, straps, or Velcro wraps to bundle and organize the wires within the enclosure. This not only improves the appearance of the installation, but also helps to prevent the wires from becoming tangled or damaged. Fourthly, consider the use of terminal blocks or patch panels. These devices provide a convenient and organized way to terminate and connect wires. Terminal blocks offer screw-type or spring clamp connections for individual wires, while patch panels provide RJ45 or other types of connectors for network and communication cables. Fifthly, grounding is an important safety consideration, even in panels without active electrical components. Ensure that all metal enclosures and components are properly grounded to prevent the buildup of static electricity or the risk of electrical shock. Connect a grounding conductor from the enclosure to a designated grounding point in the building's electrical system. Sixthly, documentation is often overlooked but is invaluable for future maintenance and troubleshooting. Keep a detailed record of the wiring layout, connections, and component locations within the panel. This documentation can be in the form of a written diagram or a digital file. Seventhly, regularly inspect the panel for any signs of damage, corrosion, or loose connections. Tighten any loose connections and replace any damaged components. Regular maintenance can help to prevent problems from escalating and ensure the long-term reliability of the system. Eighthly, consider future expansion when designing and installing the panel. Leave some extra space and capacity for future additions or modifications. This will make it easier to accommodate new equipment or wiring without having to completely rework the existing installation. Ninthly, follow industry best practices for cable routing and termination. Avoid sharp bends or kinks in the cables and ensure that all connections are properly tightened and secured. Proper cable handling can help to prevent signal degradation and ensure reliable performance. Tenthly, be aware of any specific requirements or regulations that may apply to your installation. Some jurisdictions may have additional codes or standards that must be followed. Check with your local electrical inspector or building department to ensure that your installation complies with all applicable requirements. By implementing these best practices, you can create a well-organized, reliable, and maintainable structured panel installation, even in the absence of active electrical components. This will not only improve the performance of the system, but also make it easier to troubleshoot and maintain in the future. It's important to remember that even low-voltage systems can pose safety hazards if not installed and maintained properly. Always follow the National Electrical Code and other applicable regulations to ensure the safety of yourself and others. Remember to always energize any electrical circuits before working on them. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, consult a qualified electrician. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's always better to be safe than sorry.